Yeah, can't put a foot right in paradise. Search for something nice, just a place that's all my own before a soul arrives. It's your fault, hold it twice. Diamonds made and broken pipes, bits of glass that touch my feet when I'm alone at night. I'm looking for a piece of mind, piece of yours, a piece of time, a piece of you I find, the corner of my eye. Wall beside the wall I sit, but the feeling doesn't quit. Quiet down a bit, I'm tired of feeling shit. Yeah, I know my part. I learnt my lines by heart. I sat in broken cars, my eyes towards the stars, alone at last. The quiet touched my frozen heart, asleep on a blade of grass. All I need, this is all I need. All I need, this is all I need. Everything I need, all I need, this is all I need. Yeah, it's all I need, yo, it's everything I need. All I need, this is all I need. All I need, this is all I need. Everything I need. Yeah, everything I need. Yeah, I put my fist through the wall for practice. The world rotates along its axis. You won't recognize me like you just been catfish. Smell the sheets on my mother's mattress. Just the place I learnt my backflips. I burnt the curtain with my matchsticks. We cracked the window, burned the jasmine, kept it simple. Heard it happen, saw your dimple. Heard the dragon, why these people clapping? All is sinful, all imagined. All these people having dreams about them people that they seen without no interaction. Head still hurting, Nurofen ain't working, this is me. Got me turning off my screen, wonder what I mean. Please don't delete your history. Please saying please don't delete your history. Please, it's all I need, this is all I need. Everything I need. All I need, this is all I need. Everything I need, all I need, this is all I need. Yeah, it's all I need, yo, it's everything I need. All I need, this is all I need. All I need, this is all I need. Everything I need. Yeah, everything I need.
But find shade, and I fade. I can't fade the things I've done. The sun won't make it change. I stay.
Fanboys to get back in line. Hurt feelings, they're lost. You switch off when I try to speak my mind. I can't breathe with you, I can't speak with you. It's complicated when I'm here. We felt cold when you left. Who knows what's best? I'm trying to speak with chest. makes no sense. Well, fuck the mess. Rip off this vest. Here we go again. Don't make us friends. Don't make me bend. How does this end? How does this end?
Away now. For some time I didn't mean to leave you. Could you stay a while?
Sometimes I get hit with the wild combination.
Space has gathered between our tender hearts. Deep within my soul,
Deep within my soul.
deep within my soul,
I already know. You already know.
deep within my soul. Deep within my soul, deep within my soul, I already know. I already know. Space has gathered between our tender hearts. I was in another place. I've been in another place. I was in another place. I was in another place. I've been in another my soul.
Welcome to another place. Welcome. Here you will find the end. Oh, you can never leave. You'll never ascend. What's hot in here? This is another place. How could you treat me like that? How could you? Now entered another place. The only other place. This is another place. Isn't it quiet?
Put it on the table, don't you ask me twice, because the table is crawling with nonsense. And I won't say yes second time, cause I downright nearly lost my mind. Put it on the table, don't you ask me twice, because the table is crawling with questions. And I surround myself with good these days, cause the trouble will take you far astray. astray. Bringing me down, not picking me up, yeah. Giving a damn or just kicking a can down the road. Telling me yes when it really ain't it. And I don't wanna stay in this place, no. Bringing me down, not picking me up, yeah. Giving a damn or just kicking a can down the road. Telling me yes when it really ain't it. And I don't wanna stay in this place, no. So I put it on the table, I won't ask you twice, because I'm grown and I've been here before. It's been too long and life's too short to sit around just feeling sad. Put it on the table, I won't ask you twice, because the light bulb is energy saving, and it takes its time illuminating. When I will see all of the mess you're making, the mess you're making. Bringing me down, not picking me up, yeah. Giving a damn or just kicking a can down the road. Telling me yes when it really ain't it. And I don't wanna stay in this place, no. Bringing me down, not picking me up, yeah. Giving a damn or just kicking a can down the road. Telling me yes when it really ain't it. And I don't wanna stay in this place, no. In this place, no way. In this place, no, no. In this place, no way. In this place, no, no. In this place, no way. In this place, no, no. In this place, no way. In this place, no, no. In this place, no way. In this place, no, no. In this place, no way. In this place, no way. In this place, no
It's okay, even if it isn't Mother Earth. Says she focused on finding a way. I know that you've been struggling, dealing with self-worth, but watch what you say. Thoughts turn to things like a twinkle in the eye, just let it be fly. I know that you get weary, just keep your spirit alive and let it revive. For real, listen to for real. Nobody ever really to die. Obsessing on the vision of hell while you waiting to try. Try what? Try to get the lesson to hire us. Ain't a label that can fire us. We the blessing and the curse when we fired up. What you doing? Trying to keep the beast like a puzzle when it's on the floor. Gotta make sure the bed made before it's time to go. No need to fear it. The boogeyman blessed by the lyrics. Everything is love, but you gotta feel it. Everything is love, but you gotta feel it. Everything is cool, but you gotta feel it. Everything is peace, but you gotta feel it. It's okay, but you gotta feel it. But you gotta feel it. But you gotta feel it. It's okay, but you gotta feel it. Everything is love, but you gotta.
got me so confused and hurt bad. I know you can't think that I deserve that. Why you got me so confused and hurt bad? I know you can't think that I deserve that. Why you got me so confused? Why you got me so confused? Why you got me so confused? I deserve that.
Times hard for the money, we on it, we chase door. Another day, another dollar, we follow the same road. Some follow the running, the money never stay close. Somebody go telling the money never say no. No honor, no love, the money no follow same code. Don't bother the political intimidate mode. The military killer, they eliminate folks. Pillar, they kill a pain till your brain broke. So we pray, still obey, still a slave to the dough. Until we make changes and grow. Until we just take what we want. Taking the payment we owed. Until we just take what we want. Taking the payment we owed. Con, kiki, con, con, ka. So we live what we live, and we do what we do. Got people to feed, need feed for the food. So we hustle every day life, from dusk till the daylight. Don't trust what they say, I only trust in the Most High. So we live what we live, and we do what we do. Got people to feed, need feed for the food. So we hustle every day life, from dusk till the daylight. Don't trust what they say, I only trust in the Most High. Self-service quick, Netflix, sitcoms, and burn a spliff. Further slip into this world, inserted with the burdens heavy in this urban setting where the workers live. We are the workers still, slaves in this modern day world of sin. Closer to dystopia, holding on to hopes of utopia, scoping a future much cozier. It's my duty to expose to you the truth if you want to see what I hold for you. Break free from the mold, you're more than a toll. You're golden, soul eternal, so old, but young forever. Dance to the song, surrender. God is a done, remember. Energy moving, that's a constant measure. Choosing the people, the ones we treasure. Too many times we forget. Too little time, gone forever.
missing your touch. I want just to rush. Your kiss to leave me on this breathlessness. Need you too much. Lost in the game, you know. It's all the ease and pain at once. And I'll be falling in love.
Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Heyo, heyo. This is Ingo the Gringo, welcoming you to the show and also presenting you the last song of the show. Happy birthday, Blanca. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the tunes. Last one coming up is new music by Worka. It's called S-Band. Enjoy and ciao.